Good evening.
What's up, everybody?
How y'all doing? I don't think they can see the Ourbond. See, you're not.
Yeah, because normally we sit in different areas, but okay. What's up, everybody?
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
We are the Hardmans. Thanks for tuning in. We see everyone logging in. Hey, y'all.
What's going on? What's going on?
We got watch parties going on, and we see you logged in the Ourbond. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we can see
normally.
it. Okay. Right. Thank you for tuning in. We are the Hardmans. Like we said, we have been married for 15 years. We have 4 beautiful daughters.
Yeah.
Yes, and we are here every Tuesday night on your Facebook screen, YouTube screen, and Periscope.
Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, all of those different platforms.
Yeah, so share. Like, heart, and share. Let us know you're out there. We like to discuss hot topics. If you're just tuning in, you don't know who we are. We like to discuss hot topics and relate them to our own personal lives.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll help you. It can be in parenting, marriage, relationships, just life in general.
Yep.
And we try to put a spin on it, a positive spin on it.
Hardmanize
it. And so tonight is for the adults, because we're going to talk about sex.
Nah, I think it's for everybody.
Well, yeah, it's for everybody. We need to talk about this discussion because it's everywhere, right? It
happens
everywhere.
Whether we talk about it or not.
Not. So tonight's topic is.
What's the topic?
Should you have sex before marriage?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just should you have sex before marriage?
Yeah.
Now we know what the world says. The answer should be yes. That's what the world says. And then we know a lot of church folk do it too. Right?
Pretty much.
So we have, so how it's set up, we have questions that we ask. We have 3 questions to pose tonight, and we like to make this interactive. And so we ask that you comment and just, let us know what's on your heart. Let us know your thoughts. And so we're going to start it out a little differently now. We're not going to answer the question. We're going to answer the questions throughout we're going to let y'all know our thoughts throughout the questions, right? So someone say no. They already answered it. They said no. They said no. You should not. No, you should not. So let us tell you a little background about us.
All right.
Let's just tell you, those that don't know our story, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But no, before we say that, we have to talk about the trending topic first, and then we'll go into us.
All right.
So the people that we are going to discuss tonight initially, and then we'll delve into how this relates to you all, is Lamar Odom. And, Lamar Odom is in the middle. He is a basketball player. Is he still in the league? He got back in the league? Or no, he's not in the league. Okay. But he's a basketball player, and he is recently engaged to the woman on the right. Her name is Sabrina Parr. Okay? Now, those that don't follow Lamar, he was married previously to one of the Kardashians. That's the lady on the left. Her name is Khloe Kardashian.
That's how she looks now? Lord have mercy.
She did some
augmentations.
Yes, that's
a whole bunch of.
Yeah, she did. She did some augmentations. But so I just wanted to. But they're not together. They were married 2009 and then officially divorced in 2016. But he's been in the news because Lamar Odom is just recently proposed to his girlfriend, now fiance, only after 3 months of dating. And she said of those 3 months of dating, they've been celibate. They have not had sexual intercourse yet. Now, let's talk about his history. So he was married to Khloe. There was infidelity, and there was drug abuse. So much so that in 2015, while they were still married, even though they were separated, but they were still legally married, he was found in a brothel in Las Vegas, unconscious due to drug overdose. He was unconscious for some days. So, the brothel. So he was doing that. And he was doing a whole bunch of drugs. Okay. And so that was, I think that was really that wasn't the initial demise of their relationship, but it sealed the end.
But that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back.
So she put the divorce on hold for a minute and to wait till he became, was back healthy. And then they were officially divorced in 2016. So during that time, he's been clean. He's done a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah.
He's been talking to a pastor and trying to get his life back in order. And he feels he has found the love of his life, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a good segue into this topic. So the topic was, should you have sex prior to marriage? Now, both of them have been married before. So obviously they've had sex before, right? They're not virgins. She's divorced as well. But they have decided to wait until marriage. Now, here's the thing. There's no wedding date yet.
Okay.
But the people are already commenting.
Miss Juanita.
Yeah. There's no wedding date. There's no wedding.
Hey, Miss Juanita.
Hello. Thank you for commenting. There is no wedding date yet.
Yeah.
But they're still celibate and they're engaged.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about us real quick.
Okay.
Was that a good setup?
Yeah, you did an excellent job.
It was really quick.
You did an excellent job, and she's good at setting things up. So I guess from our standpoint, we met each other at church, and I think with that, we both were pursuing what we felt was best for us at that particular time, and we both had a natural connection to each other. And but that connection did not take place until one day I came to her house, and a mutual friend invited me to her house
in March.
So which was March 14th.
Yeah, we officially
met. The first day we officially met.
In March
14th. Yeah. And 2 months and 4 days later, we got married.
We got married.
May 18th.
In
of
2004. And so we've been married for 15 years. 15 so I always joke, like, how long you known your husband?
Yeah.
Well, how long we been married? 15 years. I've known him 15 years and 2 months. That's the
so there we go.
So now, to be transparent, we did not have sex before we married.
We did not.
Were we virgins? No.
No.
But we did not have sex before we married.
Correct.
I think that if we would have, we would not have married.
Yeah. It probably would have been yeah. It would have dropped the bomb. It would have probably exploded. Because we wouldn't have been married on a firm foundation. And I think both of us were really trying to live holy. And what I mean by live holy is we were trying to be morally right. We did not want to have sex before we got married. And we were both on a journey and a path of finding what our purpose and our destiny was in God. And then also that even brought us closer together, where we had a lot of communication with each other, because that communication was not based on sexual infatuation, lust, or anything. Although we were very attracted to each other, and we did not want to be separated from each other. It was like we wanted to spend every waking minute together.
Right.
But I think because we did not have sex before we got married, the biggest thing was we wanted to have a relationship with each other from a standpoint of connection spiritually, and then just us being friends. We talked every day. We didn't have the cell phones or FaceTime or anything like that. Man, we would send emails to each other. We would send scripture verses to each other. And I think that was the biggest thing that kind of like helped keep us on track, because God was the focal point of our relationship before we even got to the physical. And the physical did not take place. I mean, we had a kiss.
We had
probably multiple kisses.
We had lots of kisses. But see, this is the thing. From my perspective, I didn't want to mess anything up.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing. I mean, he just said it so eloquently and all of that. My bottom line, I didn't want to mess anything up, and I didn't want to displease God. Like the commitment that I had made.
That's the simple way of putting it.
That's just a simple way of saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I always go back to Dr. Phil. When that's my favorite line with him. He says, how's that working for you? So I had to think of, okay, other relationships that that I had sex. How did that work out for me? It just didn't work. So I said, you know what, God? I'm about to trust you this time.
Yeah.
I'm about to trust you. So I went on a 2-year sabbatical. And he brought my husband to my front door. Yeah. Like literally I opened it up and there was this tall, dark, chocolate hunk of a man. Keep going. And so we just wanted to just set it up a little bit just to tell you our story, but then we're going to start with some questions. Yeah. Reading some questions, and then we'll tell you more of and our I'll make y'all laugh.
My sabbatical is not too much. I mean, 2 years.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It was a short sabbatical, but I thank God for that sabbatical. Amen. Praise God.
Okay, okay, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about more of that. So let's go with the first question.
All right. So first question. And really, I think before we even set this question up, we really have to think about what it means from, and I guess we'll go there. Let's go to the question, and then we'll jump into what we're going to talk about.
Okay. First question: what are the benefits of waiting and being celibate? What are the benefits of waiting and being celibate?
All right. So we had a couple of comments from Miss Juanita. She said no first. Then she said, if you want
God's blessings, then no.
If you want God's blessings, no. Baby. Or that if it was That's
what she said.
Okay. If you want God's blessings, no. All right. So what are the benefits of waiting and being celibate? So, guys, we want you to chime in. We want you to chime in as much as possible, comment so that we can continue to add fuel to our conversation. What are the benefits of waiting and being celibate? If you got any comments, even if you haven't been celibate, but you know now that there are some benefits to being celibate, guess what? Put them on the comment section so that we can read them and we can discuss. All right.
So let me start this discussion.
What's going on, Forrest?
Hey, what are some of the benefits of being celibate? That means celibate, going without sexual relations, right? So anything, I feel that success in anything, it runs parallel with self-control, perseverance, delayed gratification, and just waiting until the right time. And so you can take that in the business world. You know, you don't become successful overnight.
No, you don't.
Hard work
and everything.
And you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
So I kind of see celibacy as it's a process of reflecting, waiting, appreciating what's to come, learning a lot about yourself, growing through that.
Yeah.
And you're sharing that experience with the love of your life.
Yeah.
And you're taking out any distractions from getting to know each other.
Yeah.
That's what I think celibacy is.
I think celibacy is trusting that, especially from a spiritual standpoint, trusting that God knows your heart. He knows your desires. He knows what's best for you. So when you're celibate, you are really consecrating yourself for that moment and that time of where you consummate the marriage. Where, in other words, you say, okay, God, I trust you enough in that I'm going to let you choose my spouse for me, or I won't even say let you choose my spouse, but allow that person who is supposed to be for me to be revealed to me. And then also from a sexual standpoint, you know my needs. You know my desires. You created me the way I am. So if you created me the way I am, and you created me with the desires and every aspect of who I am, then now my responsibility is to just trust you and believe that, guess what? You'll take care of it. And he will take care of it.
So, okay. So let's read some comments. We had one. Adora said, you get to know the other person without sex getting in the way. Mm-hmm. Someone said she nailed it right on the head. Better side, you think a lot. Huh?
Have all kinds of stuff to try. On the better side, you think a lot, and you have all different things.
Other things
so
to do
other
together.
Things you can be creative and spontaneous in doing other things besides sex. And that way it gives you more of an opportunity to really know that person without the physical getting involved,
without your judgment being clouded. Because let me just say something. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and she was like, Ebony, you know me, I gotta try it before I even give them the time, because I am a sexual being and I like what I like, and I'm not going to waste my time because I've been with others and they didn't satisfy me. So I knew immediately that I could not be with this one. I could not marry them. I couldn't have a relationship with them. Mm-hmm. None of that. So I gotta try it. I gotta test it out. And then I've heard other analogies too. It's like you never just walk off the lot
without test driving
a car. You hear everyone says that. You hear that
of
all
course,
the time.
You hear that all the time.
You got to test it out before you try and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I simply said, so are you asking God to send you your mate? And she said, yeah, of course. I said, but what you just said is totally contradicting you wanting God to send you a mate. And she's like, well, what do you mean? You test driving, you knowing what you want, and you going out and getting it, you are then now telling God, I don't need you.
And I can handle it.
I can handle this on my own.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, whatever.
Take my hands off.
You doing it your way. Mm-hmm. You don't, I said, you don't think that, I said, you believe that he created you, right? Yeah. So if he created you, he knows your innermost desires. Mm-hmm. He knows your level, your scale. Your scale of what you need. So can't you trust him enough to send you someone that can satisfy that? Mm-hmm. Why don't you let him deal with that, and then you just worry about getting to know the person? Because there's a whole that part of sex. That's just, it's a great part of a relationship, right? But I'm just saying that's just one aspect. Yeah. There are so many other aspects of the person that you need to get to know before you before you decide, hey, I want to be in a relationship with this person and eventually be married.
Yeah.
That was so, and she was like, oh, now I don't know if she listened or not. Someone just said, well, what was this? The right opportunity.
Yeah, she said right opportunity to see how she responds, reacts in different situations. So it's not just what you say, but what you do. Yeah. And then another comment on
YouTube.
The true benefits of being celibate is getting to know God and Him, healing your brokenness to be prepared for a God-centered relationship. It is a process. Excellent, Ebony. And I think this, from this standpoint too, we have to be very careful, because a lot of times we judge things out of context. Our judgment is faulty, and then a lot of times what we're doing is, because we've had so many different soul ties to different people, then we expect and we try to conform or make another person fit what we think we need, based on our experiences in the past. And in actuality, a lot of times God doesn't think the way we think based on our physical experiences. God gives us what we need, and it could be a totally thing that blows our mind, but it blows our mind in a perspective and a way of intimacy and romance that sometimes the physical is just a culmination of everything that took place before then. So it makes it even that much better, because sometimes we get so caught up in the physical to where it's just an act, but it's not worship. And I really believe that God had created sex for worship. He created sex for worship. It's the only opportunity for a man and a woman to be connected physically and spiritually all at the same time.
And if you have not had that connection, if you've only just had a physical connection, ladies and gentlemen, you are totally missing it.
Yeah, because it's just physical. It's just an act.
You have not experienced.
So once the act is over, then unless that act is continually repetitive or something, then all of the other aspects of that relationship becomes now, well, I can't be satisfied this way, and then so all of the other aspects will be viewed through the lens of just that physical act instead of the totality of the relationship that actually is what sets the foundation for the act to take place.
And you said something too when you were speaking. You were talking about soul ties. A soul tie is since God created sex, it in addition to it being a physical experience, it's also a spiritual experience. So every time you have it, I heard a preacher say that a man leaves a deposit in the woman. You know, it's like you are still connected to that person. You have soul ties, and we have an illustration of that, and then we'll get to a comments. Click on that. Let's show him that soul ties illustration. So let's look at this. You have a female, but it could be a male right there, anyone. But this was just that illustration. So you have you, right? So you have you in this diagram, and then you're connected to. This is the guy in the red shirt. You had sex. I'm acting like they can see my fingers. But the guy in the red shirt, you had sex with him. And he has an anger. What does that say?
Anger problem.
He has an anger problem. But then he had sex with the lady at the bottom.
Low self-esteem.
She has low self-esteem. So that you connected to that. Then also he had sex with the lady at the top.
Who has a negative attitude.
And then she had sex with, I don't know. It's not. But anyway, they all, did he have sex? Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
we're looking at all that.
Okay,
so spirit of addiction.
You got liar.
Lack of submission.
Lack of submission.
Insecurity.
You sleeping with.
Lack of trust.
All of that. And you see how much bigger and bigger it can grow and keep growing and growing and growing. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing? You have to really choose wisely. And I'm saying, well, so why not have God choose for you?
Yeah.
So.
All right. Y'all are chiming in, and this is awesome.
Okay, so here's one comment. Hey, Michael. Hey, Paula.
Song of Solomon describes a man and woman connection,
and it's a
man-woman
thing.
Connection.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Answer, Sonia said, no. People change daily.
So you can't can't say marriage going to keep the relationship. Sometimes physical relationships better than communication relationship. Everyone is different. Okay. All right. I could see that. And then there was another comment that said, I am willing to wait for my king and priest. I need to be what I expect God to send me. I need someone who can pray me through life situations, and I must be that for him. So in that, you're looking at a person where celibacy is actually preparation. Mm-hmm. And it's a process. Mm-hmm. The preparation that God is actually grooming you to be prepared and ready for your mate when that person comes. And so the preparation period, there are things that I believe celibacy does in your connection with God, but it also allows you to begin to understand who you are in knowing who God is. And then there are certain things that you can find out about yourself in that quest for knowing who you are before you even get into a relationship with someone else, because you have to be whole and complete before you expect somebody. And you know, a lot of times people say, well, you know, that other person completes me. I don't agree with that. I believe they complement you. They don't complete you. They complement you. So God knows exactly what you need in order to complement you so that you too can become so much better together than by yourself. And
then too, what if you are already in a relationship and it's been on your heart that you probably need to stop? You can start the celibacy right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. Don't think that you failed. Yeah. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Well, no. You can do it now.
Yeah.
You can do it now.
You can stop the cycle now. Most of the time when I counsel couples, and if I always ask them the question if they had sex. And if they say yes, I say, all right, well, we know what y'all done before. Now this is what you can do from this point forward going into the marriage. So when we have premarital counseling, I say stop the sex right now and then really spend time on, you know, building a spiritual relationship, because a lot of times we think sex is the only thing that really ties you or brings you together. Yeah, you may communicate. Yeah, you may go out on dates, but the culminating factor is the sex. And in actuality, we spend more time communicating and being with that other person instead of being in the bed together all the time. Yeah. So when you look at the totality of relationships and marriages, you spend a smaller period of time having sex than you do talking to that person, or you should, or even having experiences and going through life together that you know, raising children and other things that you're doing. Sex is actually the benefit and the gift that God gives for us to, number one, reproduce, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. That's what God said. But also God knows that sex is pleasurable. So God wants us to have pleasure in our relationship. And in that, when we have a relationship of knowing that God has already known that sex was a part of marriage, then when you go outside of marriage, what you're doing is you are actually breaking the covenant, or you're breaking something that belonged to the person that you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life. And what happens is it causes so many issues that you bring all of this excess baggage into the relationship. Comparison, thinking that every time something goes wrong, now you think about what that other person did or what that other person didn't do. And now you're all in your mind, got all of these thoughts, got all of these feelings, got all of these soul ties in you, and you are still trying to function with all of this excess baggage on you, and you can't really love the person for who they are because you got all of this gunk and junk on the inside of you. But if you would allow God to cleanse you before you even get into the marriage, you'll have a better vision of who your spouse or your mate is, so that way when you're going forward, you'll see them more clearly than not through the lens of their physicality. And we get so caught up in the physical. I mean, this whole world is just based on physicality. Even commercials, food commercials involve sex. Cartoons involve sex. Everything.
Everything.
So this
world.
whole world now has been really, it's perpetuated sex.
So let me just tell you, I was nervous with. I'm just gonna be honest with me and my husband. I knew that we weren't gonna have sex, but I was nervous when we were going to have it when we got married. Like, I knew we had committed. I told him on the first date, I don't do this. I said, so if you want sex, I'm not the one. I'm just not the one for you, right? But when he had agreed and we were committed to it, then I started getting nervous. You know, those thoughts in your head. Well, what if I can't satisfy him? Like, what if I'm not enough for him? And then, you know, I just got really, really nervous about that. And because, you know, I didn't have as much experience as, you know.
Whatever.
But I was really nervous, like, but I had to pray about that before the wedding night. Like, Lord, like, what if we get married and he don't want to be with me anymore, you know? But then I realized that, like, when Oshi was saying it, think about it. Yeah, sex is a beautiful thing, and I think it's like the culmination of everything after that's like the icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. But we had been so connected spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all of that. So when we came together, it was unbelievable. And that's, I think, what he intended. And then you got the rest of your life together, so you can enjoy, and ask God to continue to bless that part
and to build
because a lot of couples don't even pray about. We pray about everything, and we'll pray about finances.
Yeah.
We'll
play
about
I need to do something with my kids. All that other stuff.
But do you really pray? Like God, okay, when me and my husband, like, after this date, when we about to, and Lord, make it do what it do. Yeah. Lord, please be able, to just show your light in this, you know, and I don't think a lot of us do that. We have comments. I'm sorry. People saying, no, we already read that one, right? No.
Oh, go right here. Yeah. This one. So,
sex is not all there is to God's plan for marriage. So it is the same. At the same time,
you should not rush.
You should not rush into marriage so that you can have sex.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's true. But isn't it better to?
The scripture does say it's better to marry than to burn.
The passion. So it shouldn't be the only reason.
Yeah.
Why you marry, but if y'all know y'all gonna get married, that's I was like, why am I gonna?
And let me tell you what, and I'm even kind of piggyback on what you just said. Sometimes people have, like they say, you know, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free?
Yeah.
In a sense, people have already built that level of comfortability in who they have been with till that brings a level of where there will be no commitment. What I mean by that is if I'm already getting everything that I want that is given to me as it relates to having a relationship like I'm married, then why do I need to commit to get married? Why, if I already get sex, if I'm already we already living together, we already sharing all this other stuff, but why do I have to sign my name, or why do I have to now go before a company of witnesses if I'm already getting all of this? So therefore, it takes the commitment level out of the relationship because you've already given everything of yourself to that person, and vice versa. So there's really no level of commitment there, because at any moment you can say peace out, bye, and therefore all of that what you have given goes with that person. So I think too, God confines sex to marriage because he knows that sex also is an opportunity for you to commit to that person, to have something where you don't have to worry about what the ramifications or being or living in sin, because we know that sin actually is separating us from God. So we don't get the full benefits of blessings because we're saying, God, bless this relationship, but I want to live in sin at the same time.
I want to do what I
want to do what I want to do,
but I still need you to bless it.
But I want you to bless what I'm in because I don't trust you enough to believe that you know exactly what's best for me. So let me handle this area. I'll make sure that I can be satisfied by my mate, or my partner in my relationship, and then I'll let you handle the spiritual aspect. But you don't really understand that everything is included in that relationship.
And ask yourself, why aren't I satisfied?
Yeah.
Have you just thought about that? You keep wanting more and more, and you're looking outside. You're wanting, let's say even within marriage, you might be wanting, man, Atlanta boy.
I mean, whatever you want
swinging,
is here in Atlanta.
Whatever way you want to go, you can find it in the A.
You can find
it. And so you have all these insatiable desires outside of marriage and inside of marriage. Have you ever thought, well, why am I not fulfilled?
Yeah, because you have your level of sensitivity is so low because you've been exposed to so much. And now it takes more and more and more to satisfy you over and over again because you've been how can I say it? You've done so much to the point of where now sex ain't sex no more. Now I got to add a little extra stuff into it to kind of spice it up a little bit. Because why? Because you have allowed that level of the sexuality of the world come into your relationship so much to where now everything you can't get aroused or anything by just being able to look at your spouse.
And you should be.
And you should be able to do that.
You should just to look. Maybe just smell them. Like you just smell them.
I'll just say this, man.
A hug that should arouse you.
I thank God for my wife.
I thank God for you, baby.
I thank God that God made her the way I want her to be made. Exactly. And so it don't take much for me because when I see what God gave me, I'm like, Adam, whoa, man. She's bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She came out of me, and now I get to enjoy what she has for me, and that's our communication. That's our romantic opportunities. That's us talking to each other. That's us being each other's friend. That's us sharing the highs and lows that we experience in life. And really, a lot of times, that's where the love for your spouse comes, when you go through some things.
Oh, yeah.
Really, your relationship is not tested until you go through some stuff. And when you're able to go through some stuff and know that you came out on the other end and you're still connected, and God has actually caused you to be closer to each other because of what you've experienced in life, it makes it that much more enjoyable to know that this is my ride or die. This is my soulmate. This is my person who got me, who got my back when I'm in my darkest and most dismal moments, and even in my highest highs. I have somebody to share those things with. And that becomes the biggest aspect of really what it means to really have somebody like that. To have somebody that you share with, and that you love, and that you can really express yourself, and that you can share even your innermost thoughts to somebody who's not going to take advantage of what you give or what you say out of your mouth. And they are just there to love you unconditionally, not based on everything else that you think it should be based on, but it's based on the foundation of, this is who I love, and this is why I love her, and this is why she loves me, and this is why God put us together, because there's something greater and bigger, that we have a ministry and purpose that we have. And I'm getting.
Well,
anyway.
we gotta go to. This is good, baby. Let's go to question 2. You're good. You're on the roll.
All right, question number 2.
Amen. They agree.
All right. Let's look at question 2.
Is there a double standard of sex expectations between men and women? Is there a double standard of sex expectations between men and women?
Is there a double standard of sex expectation between men and women?
Okay.
All right.
So let me tell you something. Juanita made a comment. I pray that you have this kind of talk with your church members. And so we actually do. We have a marriage ministry that meets. It's a smaller group, intimate couple session. That's what we call it. Like, it's not easily broken marriages. But it's for engaged and married people. And we have these intimate conversations, because let me tell you what I have seen. I've been in church all my life. All my life.
But anyway.
But what I have seen a lot, and this is so unfortunate, and this is what the world sees. We always say, yes, I'm waiting on my husband. You know, God's going to say, I'm going to be celibate. I'm in the church. I go to church every Sunday, but could it be, and I've seen that a lot of women that are celibate it's like by celibacy by default.
Yeah.
Because
not by choice, because there isn't a man that is interested at them at the moment, right? Mm-hmm. But as soon as someone gets interested in them, oh yeah,
it's out there. Wow. Yeah. And that's what the world sees.
Exactly.
I wanted the testimony, and I do have the testimony of being celibate during a time where men were trying to holler. Men were trying to holler all the time. Okay. Yeah. And then having to be in a relationship and still be celibate. Yeah. That's
the true test.
That is a true test. So so church folk, don't be saying, "Oh yeah, I'm celibate" and all that stuff, but in your spirit, in your heart,
that if you got the opportunity,
if he look at you, you're gonna try to cook him a meal and take him back home. Don't play yourself. Let's be real.
Be real, and that has to be the true the true test is not when things are. Sometimes, we're in relationships, so sometimes for the lack of opportunity, we stay where we are.
Yeah, that's
for the lack of opportunity. But if the opportunity presents itself, then it's a totally different story. And we have to really get out of that mindset. Can't we just say, "I love you, God, for you being God"? If I get in a relationship or if I don't, you're the biggest prize that I have.
Now I'm going to work on
and your
myself.
presence is better than a person at that particular moment. And God, I know that you know my desires, so you know if I want to have somebody to be able to share these things with, I can have that person. And guess what? I know that when you give them to me, that they're going to treat me with a level of respect. Doesn't mean that everything's going to be perfect or that all the conditions are going to be just right. But it does mean that, God, you have placed somebody in my life that I've trusted you enough to give them to me so that we can be able to share these things. And then let's look at the question, though.
The question, is there a difference? Is there a double standard?
A double standard in the expectations of men and women?
And men and women.
I think growing up, based on parents and teaching and then society, boys were based on conquest. So it was more so if, it was seen that boys should be able to do it. But here's the question. They got to be doing it with somebody.
Right.
So if they're doing it with somebody, that means that's somebody's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, it's almost like, and it's taboo for a woman to have that same type of mindset.
Because we're seen as being loose. Remember the movie Wood? If anybody watched that, The Wood. It was a movie Wood, and it was taken in was it a middle school setting?
In middle school.
They started. But the boys had a pact. Who can get the most numbers?
Yeah, who can get the most numbers, and then
so
nowadays, they graduated, who's going to end up having sex?
The most sex, right?
Yeah.
So nowadays it has evolved. They still do that in these even elementary but it has evolved to more than just the numbers. It's like sexual things, touching and things like that, but you got to do it with someone. And us women, we have to realize we have so much power. We don't have I think there is a double standard.
Yeah.
I think when girls are taught, you're supposed to save yourself for marriage and all that stuff. But then on the other hand, women want someone experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what do you can you be with someone that is not? And
can you grow together?
Can you just grow together? Can you fall in love with him and appreciate the fact that he loves you more than life itself?
Yeah.
And he'll do anything for you. But and so I think it is a double standard. We're getting some comments.
Yeah, we had a lot.
I pray that you.
All right, so
yes, sir.
Great. Yes, I think so. Most women think he knows everything to do, but she doesn't even know what she wants. So how can he meet
the needs that
she wants? Then that's right. Say so. Them women who are celibate because they ain't got no man.
That is so true.
But yeah, I mean, and that becomes the issue.
Yeah.
So I think really this whole conversation that we're having should be coming from a mindset of preparation. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself in a way that, number one, you are satisfied with who you are, whether somebody is satisfied with you or not. Celibacy is really coming to a place of intimacy with yourself.
That's good.
That's what I think. Celibacy more so comes to a place of intimacy with yourself. Now, what do I mean by intimacy with yourself? When you begin to know who you are and know your value and know your worth and know that God created you in his image and in his likeness and know that everything the way that God created you was good in his height, and then know that, guess what, man, if no person other comes to celebrate me,
I'm going to celebrate myself.
So it just came to me. Celibacy is I celebrate me.
That's good.
I celebrate me We might have to coin that. Celibacy is I celebrate me. All right, that might be we might have to get that trademark.
Is I celebrate
me. And that's what that means is that I become intimate with myself. I know myself. I take my own self out and enjoy being with myself. And then not only do I celebrate me, I celebrate him and our intimacy with God. So in other words, I build a relationship, and I know that this relationship is growing that I have with God, and God is showing me who I am. I'm seeing who I am, and I'm loving what I see.
And if no one respects that, they're not the person for you.
Yeah.
If they can't understand that you want to celebrate yourself and love yourself even more and more, then they're not the person that you need to be with.
Yeah.
Because the person that your other half wants to see you win.
Yeah.
They want to see.
Yeah. They want to see you be your best.
Yes, because they love you and they want the best for you.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be hard. But they can say, like, oh, but I don't know how I'm going to go through this. I mean, you got to set some boundaries.
Yeah, you got to set some boundaries.
Oh, my God. We had, we had this, I'm going to just tell one quick. You know, I had my own house when we got married, and so we could not spend any time when we started dating. We only dated for a month. We knew each other for 2 months.
We knew each other for 2 months, but we really started dating after a month.
So every day we were together.
I would come over there and just hang out. We'll cook. We'll watch movies and stuff.
So I say you're going to sleep on the couch because you're not coming into the bedroom because I know my limit. I don't want to be tempted. And I started missing him. I started missing him.
Even when I was in a different room.
In a different room. But then he knocking on the door asking, you all right? You all right?
I was struggling, but at the same time, let me tell you, I did not want to mess it up either.
We didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
So I think one time I was like, okay,
you come in here,
but we had a barrier. We losing our life. We had a barrier in between us, and then I slept under the cover, and he slept on top. And we made it. We didn't do it often because that was just like,
that was too much.
But it's like you have these little funny moments with each other, but we remember that. We know what it feels like. We know. They're laughing. We know. We're being honest.
And really,
and we kept the commitment.
That's where true transformation and breakthrough takes place, when you are open and transparent. When you are open and transparent, you are able to talk about these things in a way that could be like, man, you know what? I was struggling, but guess what? We made it through. We made it through. And I think that was another thing that even brought us to a place of, like, God was saying, what are you waiting on? You love this woman, even though you only know her officially for 2 months. But it was like, and this is where we had came to the conclusion, and this is our mantra, this is our motto: we don't need any human validation for God's confirmation. So if God has confirmed it, then guess what? You need to walk in it, regardless of if anyone around you does not believe that you are, or don't believe your experience, or don't believe that that what you're doing is right. So we had to come to that conclusion, and we were happy with the conclusion we made. And God is actually happy with us, because I believe He's still seeing the fruit of our relationship together. And then guess what? We get an opportunity to share all of this with y'all, guys.
Yeah, we made it. we made it, y'all.
And God has made it fruitful. I think when you do it God's way, it will produce something that is bigger than yourself individually, and it's bigger than us as a couple. It gives us the ability to be able to serve what God has given us to the rest of the world. And I think that's really where we are now, and that's the reason why we even created this show, because we feel like God gives us something to be able to share, and it gives us something to serve to the rest of the world. that they could see the love and the genuine relationship that we have with each other. Man, we didn't even get to the third question.
What time is it?
We got like 2 minutes.
Okay, let's
all right, so let's look at the third question, and then we're going to bid you guys good night.
That's a loaded question.
Is sex important in one's marriage? Is sex important in one's marriage?
I'm going to answer that for you right now. Yes,
all right.
yes.
Yes, it is important.
You should talk about your feelings. You should talk about what you need, your needs. He should talk about his needs. Mm-hmm. Y'all should pray about it together. You can go to God with anything. The bedroom is undefiled. Hebrews 13:4. Yeah, I remember. The bedroom is undefiled. It says
marriage is honorable in all, and the bed is undefiled.
Now only y'all should be in the bed. We ain't talking about that swinging and stuff like that. And all that stuff like that. But between y'all, it is undefiled. It is very important.
Pure. It's pure. Holy.
And you wrong for holding yourself to your withholding yourself to your spouse.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the gift of marriage.
God created that, and the scripture even says that in I think 1 Corinthians chapter 7 that you should not withhold yourself. Your body is not your own; it belongs to husbands. Your body is not your own; it belongs to your wife. And wives, your body is not your own; it belongs to your husband. And the only way that you are supposed to now not have sex for a time is when you both consent and that you're going to give yourself to fasting. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
And then, but the consenting
but
too.
Then it says,
you could be sick or pregnant.
But then it also says, but then once you come back together quickly, so that the enemy won't tempt you, because there are so many vices and so many ways that the enemy will try to come in, and we can't operate from manipulation. We can't operate from trying to persuade somebody by withholding, sex from the other person. So sex was God ordained, created by God, so that a husband and wife can have pleasure, can reproduce, have children, and enjoy the fruit of a wonderful and spiritual relationship.
I agree, and I know we gotta go. The time is up. I've been reading some of the comments. Somebody said we were playing with fire.
Yeah,
we were.
Yeah.
And we, I didn't read all the comment, but when she said that, playing with fire, yes, we were. And that's why we want to be transparent and tell you we're not one of these pastors and first ladies.
Yeah. That think we got everything together.
You got to do everything to do.
Yeah.
You are human. You have some failures.
Yes.
You have you have some desires. You and then it's like, who's going to tell you? You just got to tell the truth.
Yeah, got to tell the truth.
We went through that. So it is a struggle. It is something that you have to pray about daily. Even within your marriage. You pray about your sex life daily.
And that would be the question. And we're going to say that. We're going to say this and go. But for the married couples that are out there that may just be struggling in their sex life, take the time before you do anything else and go to God together, and just say, God, help us in our sex life.
That's a simple prayer.
Help us. You know my needs, and you know my spouse's needs. Help us to be the ones that are truly satisfying our spouse. And I think when you really put God at the forefront of it and you become intentional about meeting your spouse's needs, I believe God can allow fireworks to take place in your bedroom.
He does.
And it will be God ordained.
Yes.
Worship.
Yes.
All right.
Y'all, we gotta go. We gotta go because we gotta go get something to eat. We try sometimes to do a little day, a little quick day after Ourbondlive.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yes. We have to.
The couple celebration.
We had our couple celebration this past Saturday.
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
We had a great time.
Y'all, we've already posted pictures on Ourbondlive, so
and
y'all
we got
can look.
more pictures and
we got like a promo video coming from that later on this week.
So listen, we thank you so much,
everyone for
being a part of our holiday couple celebration.
Yes,
it was a blast.
It was a blast.
We enjoyed ourselves. And man,
we're
looking
tired.
Yeah, we're still tired. We're still recovering from just all of the planning and setup and everything that we had to do.
And so since we were sold out, we have to have another
bigger
venue
and
for next year.
Yeah.
And so we're already looking into that.
Yeah.
So also know, y'all, 2019, this is our last show for 2019. Okay,
yeah.
We won't be back until the first Tuesday. I think that's January the 7th.
January 7th.
But we'll be on Facebook commenting and doing stuff, and we pray for everyone out there, everyone that is listening.
Yeah.
That you enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
And that you are shown love through this holiday. And Jesus is the reason for the season.
Yeah.
We thank God that he sent his son.
Yeah.
And so, this is the time of family and of course Jesus' birth, and we just want to celebrate that. Celebrate each other.
And when you going into the new year, really take some self-assessment and really think about where you want to be, whether that's in your personal relationship, if you're single, where you want to be, some goals that you're trying to accomplish, and think about those things. Write them down, because they say people who write their goals down are 70 or 80% more likely to accomplish them than you if you just think about them in your head.
You're right.
All right?
You're right.
So we love you guys.
We love y'all.
We're going to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yes.
And we will see you in
2020.
Wow.
2020.
Wow.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Peace out.
Good night.
God bless.
Good night.